Hello there, it's Tana G. Marie. Today I would love to talk to you about emotions. So I am feeling really sad today. And I was sitting with my morning meditation, sort of powering through, and I realized, you know what? I'm really sad today. And this is a victory for me because all my life I really hid from this emotion. I'm really good at anger. That's my thing. Anger feels powerful to me. Anger feels embodying. It feels emboldening. I feel like I'm in control. Sadness is an emotion that I'm not that familiar with. And through the work that I've done, through the breath work, through the trauma training that I've done, I've really been able to sit with sadness. I wanted to bring some light to this because we all have emotions that we are more comfortable with than others. And as humans, we're meant to experience a wide range of emotions and to cycle through them. If you've ever watched a toddler, they will go from joy to having a tantrum and throwing a fit on the floor and screaming and crying, back to joy, laughter in a couple of seconds. And this is how our nervous system is meant to behave. However, we get stuck in these emotions. We make meaning, we make stories around them. They remind us of something that happened, and then we go into our heads and these emotions stay stuck. So know that what you've probably heard the saying, whatever you resist persists. The more we stuff emotions down or we ignore them, go around them, pretend they're not there, the more they will come out sideways. They're still there. Or they will grow within us and turn into resentment or a long festering anger or maybe even an illness. It's so important to be able to feel the emotions that are present. And we're not that good at that as a society, especially emotions of grief, sadness, despair. Look, we are going into year 3 of a pandemic, and I just had to have a little bit of a moment today and be like, God, enough. So many of the things that I live for are just suspended indefinitely. So many things that make me, travel, adventures, volunteer work, trainings in person, emotional intimacy, touch, cuddles, sex. My God, these have been missing for years now. And there's nothing for me to look forward to. That's really been what happens. What really gets me going is I put some epic, crazy adventure on the calendar. Like, I'm going to go volunteer with monkeys in Africa. And there's an almost insurmountable amount of stuff I have to do to make it happen. And that makes me feel alive. I haven't had that for years. And I just really had to just sit with myself and just say it. I'm sad. I'm really sad. I'm frustrated. I'm sad. I am grieving what I don't have right now, what I don't have to look forward to. So I just want to normalize that. Gosh, you guys, we're going through a lot. And our society tells us power through, just put on a positive attitude. Fuck that. Just for a minute, just let it go. Let yourself feel. Anger in particular can be a shield. It can be a defense. When you think of a knight in shining armor, or jousting, they have these full-on metal plates and breastplates. Anger is like that. Anger is a shield for what we don't want to feel, what we don't want to show the world. It's a shield for vulnerability. It's a shield of pain. It's a way that comes out sideways. And I know this because I was the pissed off child for so many years. Anger was familiar. That was the currency that we communicated with as a child in my household. People yelled, they screamed, they threw things, they slammed doors. There was not a healthy communication. There was no resolution. There was no acknowledgement of, hey, I'm feeling this way, and waiting for a response. There was no attempt at bridging or repairing a hurt. And I don't say this to call out my family. So many of us grew up in this. I say this because it became the way I knew to express myself. Okay, if something happens, I'm going to fester about it. I'm going to be mad about it. I'm going to make a grudge against the world about it. I'm not going to forget it. What I didn't know to do was to go to the other person and have a communication, a conversation, because this was unfamiliar to me. Coming to someone and saying, "Gosh, I really feel hurt because, wow, that was too much. I wasn't familiar with it." And when I tried to do something like that, a lot of times the people I surrounded myself with were dysfunctional, so it wasn't received well. So I'm saying this only to point out we do what's familiar. There are certain emotions that will be more familiar to you because that's the paradigm, the dynamic you grew up in. Maybe you were never allowed to be angry, so you just don't let yourself get angry. Maybe you turn inward and you get tearful and fearful, and that is, but maybe you're really angry, but you don't feel like you can express that. So here's my challenge to you. Find the emotions, take notice of the emotions that you live in more than others, because I promise you, if you've had a significant amount of trauma, there's a few that you're going to be really comfortable with. There's so many emotions: fear, anger, sadness, pain, grief, joy, surprise, delight. There's a wide range. And there's probably a few that you live in. So just take note. Wow, for me, it was anger. Okay. The thing that I never let myself feel is maybe it's sadness. Maybe it's grief. And just noticing awareness opens that up for you. And then when you're finding yourself triggered, you're in that emotion, that dominant emotion for me was anger. Like today, sit with it. I had to just really be like, okay, I'm frustrated. I'm on this diet that's not working. I don't want to do any of my commitments. I just want to fuck off and play. There was an anger coming through, but it wasn't really anger at the heart of it. There was something deeper. So I took some time and I just sat with myself and asked, what is really going on? What's underneath the anger? For me, that was sadness. That was grief. Something got canceled that I was really putting all my hopes onto. And it wasn't just postponed. It was, no, it's not happening ever again. And I started to cry because I was just really looking forward to that. And that's grief for me. I don't like that emotion. Anger feels more powerful to me, but it's so important to just sit with whatever. We expand our capacity to feel these uncomfortable emotions. We expand the capacity to feel the good ones. If we're not able to feel any emotion or only one emotion, we're not going to have the juice of life. We're not going to be able to experience all the good emotions. We're going to be shut down. So when we sit with and let ourselves feel the emotions that aren't particularly comfortable, they don't feel good. One, we let them come through, we let them express, we let them move through the body. And two, we expand our capacity to be with ourselves and each other. And three, we expand our capacity to feel a wider range of emotion, which makes such a more rich life. So I just wanted to come on and share that. And also just give permission. It is okay if you're not okay. You don't need permission. It is okay to sit and be quiet. Do. Take a moment to be. Sit, watch, notice, feel. Take a moment to feel what's really happening for you. These are extraordinary times. Stressful times, a lot of pain, a lot of uncertainty. Let yourself feel what's happening for you. And this is something I'm also learning. Allow yourself to reach out. Ask for support. Doing everything on your own is often a trauma response. And I'm very familiar with this one. I don't want to ask. I don't want to need somebody, because if I do and they're not there, if no one's there, that's the worst kind of pain. That's like abandonment plus abandonment. So here, I'm going to solve it. I just won't need anybody. And I'm strong and I can get everything done by my own. And it works and works and works, and it's exhausting. And it's not how we were meant to be. The human nervous system is designed to live in a window. We call it a ventral vagal. And our first response as mammals when something is stressful or threatening is to reach out to others. Biological fact. That is what we are designed as humans to do, is to reach out to others in our tribe and look for help and support. However, if we have abandonment, if we have betrayal, if we have hurt at the hands of people who are supposed to love us, that gets stifled. And we don't reach out to others. And we think, I'm not going to because that's pain and I'm going to do it on my own. So someone like me who had a lot of that, it's a process to learn to trust. I feel safe in my own body enough to trust someone else, to be vulnerable. And I got to tell you, I had a moment today where I called my best friend in all the world who's been with me through so much. And we just talked and I cried and I let her be there for me. And it didn't feel good, but it felt comforting. It felt vulnerable and raw and beautiful. And I want to have more of that, because that in comparison to trying to be alone and just bypass my emotion, it just felt like a richness. I felt loved. I felt supported. And so I encourage you, in just baby steps, allow yourself to say, hey, I'm not okay. I need some help. Can you be here with me? And be there for others, right? Okay, you guys. I hope that you're getting something out of this. Permission to feel. Permission to be wherever you're at right now. It's okay. And I get it. Leave me a comment if you got something positive out of this, and reach out to me if you need support or just want to talk. All right, you guys, have a great weekend.